Okay, so on today's episode, we're going to talk about how a player's team or franchise can really affect the price of their cards. We kind of touched on this last week. I believe you said that, New York Yankees fans are some of the best in the hobby. We were talking about a Mariano Rivera card last week and how there's so many Yankees fans who would buy that card. And they'd also just stash it, hold it long term. So when you're talking about a fan base like New York or LA or even Boston, these bigger market teams, in comparison to some smaller market teams, let's say as in Indiana or a Milwaukee, right? Smaller town, smaller area, smaller city, less population size means less people who can buy the card, supply and demand. So do you think that markets like New York and LA really move the needle?
Yeah, they totally do move the needle, but there is Patrick Mahomes will always sell for a lot, even though he's in Kansas City because he's an all-time great. There's also scenarios where smaller market teams do still really sell. Like, let's take the St. Louis Cardinals, for example. This year's Bowman had a player named J.J. Weatherholt in there, who's really not a top 5 player in that class, but the Cardinals fans want him because Cardinals fans are some of the best fans in the world. They travel to games, they support the team, they sell at their stadium. Also in that class, who is probably the best player in Bowman this year, is Charlie Condon, who plays for the Rockies, that people aren't even looking at because there is no Rocky fan. That doesn't exist. And no one has the confidence in holding a Rockies player because they know that in 5 years he'll wear a different jersey.
Sure. I mean, Colorado, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, all these smaller market areas. I think that we've even seen Jalen Brunson, for example. He was playing in Dallas, which isn't necessarily a small market, but smaller than New York. His gold prism was selling for like $1,000. It's seen a 600% increase since he's went to New York.
Yeah, there'll always be big jumps from going to New York City, LA, even Miami. I mean, but there is some fans in smaller areas, like let's say the Indiana Pacers, who are the home of basketball, that do collect their players, which is why when we talked about the Black Prism Halley last week, you were so surprised by the price. I wasn't so surprised because Indianapolis fans really support their players. Just like, look how Caitlin Clark's doing right now in Indy. Those cards are doing astronomical numbers, where if Caitlin Clark played in Utah, I'm not sure she would have the same impact.
A Caitlin Clark, I believe, is a Prism Gold vinyl, or maybe it was just a gold, outsold SGA's Gold Prism auto. It wasn't true gold. It was an auto. But still, in no world should a Caitlin Clark be more than an SGA in my mind. And then you slow back and you think about it and you're like, well, Caitlin Clark might be the greatest WNBA player ever when it's all said and done. And now you're kind of talking about like the Michael Jordan of the WNBA or whatever, analogy you want to use or player comparison you want to use. But then you go, well, her price should be more than, what is SGA, the 10th best player of all time, the 50th best player of all time? Like, he's not anywhere near that Jordan-esque level, whereas Caitlin Clark is already kind of like set the foundation of her career. Even this early, it might be too early to say because barring an injury or, listen, Caitlin Clark could, in theory, never win a championship too. I don't think that's going to happen. But
it's cool that we brought up Caitlin Clark's situation because she's on Indiana, which isn't the biggest market, but it's a good sports market. I don't even think there is a big jump. If she played for the New York Liberty, I don't even think there's that much of a change in the price. But looking at Shea, who's not a top 100 basketball player in any means yet, he's in Oklahoma City. That's a really tiny market, and his cards are doing crazy numbers. So I want to see if Shea was on the Lakers doing these numbers, do you think Shea would be 2x what he is now?
He would definitely have, 2x might be a stretch, but I mean, Luka, when he got traded from Dallas to the Lakers, he went up 20% just on the trade. So immediately, just if SGA got traded to the Lakers, he's going up 20%. If he got traded to the Lakers and then he went to win a championship with the Lakers, I mean, look at Ohtani's market. Yeah. Ohtani and Judge faced off in the championship last year. Ohtani ends up getting the actual championship, but as far as their careers go, like pretty similar minus the championship by Ohtani over Judge. If you look at their prices, Ohtani's like 10x Judge.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
No.
Right? So winning that championship in LA or New York,
I
think it matters.
And it brings me back to the captain, Derek Jeter, who is probably one of the most overrated baseball players of all time, is looked at as a top 5 baseball player of all time just because what he's done for the Yankees. Just for playing the 20 seasons and winning the championship on the Yankees is enough to raise him to the stardom he is today. But if you really look at it, he was never the best player on his own team. The 20 years he was with the Yankees, he was always overshadowed by some other star.
Well, Derek Jeter was never that player who put up big regular season stats. Those MVP caliber regular seasons. Where Derek Jeter made his name was the Yankees were in the playoffs in the World Series basically like every year, every other year from 95 to 2005, right? And in moments where the Yankees needed a hit in a critical moment in the game, he got a single, he got a double, he got a home run. Like he's not even a home run hitter, but Jeter, Mr. October or whatever the name they gave him is, and that might be a Reggie Jackson name. Yankees fans are going to roast me in the comments, but my point is that Jeter showed up in the playoffs, and that's why he became the captain of the team that won all the championships. Please like, subscribe, and check out these other videos that we think you might enjoy.